Hello riders. This is a felt Z5 that I'm going to be reselling. Washed it, tuned it, put on brand new bar tape, Chinelli cork bar tape, excellent stuff, can't ask for better. You even look at the logo on the tape while you're riding, and these bar plugs are Chinelli bar plugs that are upright, so you look down and you see Chinelli when you're riding. And the finished tape has Chinelli logos on it, so you see that you're riding on comfortable Chinelli bar tape. It's the best stuff there is. I don't care what you say. There's some other gooey, jelly stuff out there, but this is the greatest Chinelli cork. But this bike had a wheel, has a little bit of front hub looseness. So right here, what I've done, this wheel has a dust seal, this little rubber dust seal, that I've taken off of this side. So this dust seal, I took it off. I cleaned it up a little bit. Most of the time, I believe these things just hold grime and dirt in the bearings, but you know, they're there, so we'll put them in place. But I can feel when I wiggle this, there is a little bit of play in the bearing here, and I can hear it when I spin the wheel in the frame. Those frames, especially carbon frames, will resonate that sound like a big 50-watt speaker. So when you have something wrong with your bike, a carbon frame will amplify it like a big old speaker. Almost all front hub adjustments that have adjustable cone and ball bearing adjustments are a 13 millimeter for the front and the cone. And the outer lock nut, I don't know what it is, it's 16 or 17, but I just use an adjustable wrench for the outer lock nut. So what I'm gonna do is take this and I'm going to make sure it's on my 13. This is a double-sided 13-14 wrench by Park tool. So I'm going to get my 13 on it. I'm going to back off this outside lock nut. So right now what I've just done is loosened this lock nut. Now I'm holding on to the other side so that I know that this side is loose. There's a little dirt. I'm going to wipe that off. And now I say, okay, now I need to adjust this inside cone. The inside cone here, and that's a separate little inside piece. So I'm going to turn that in with my hand until I feel that it's hitting and I can feel the ball bearings. And then I'm going to screw the lock nut back in place. Now I'm going to take that and just hold that cone and just lightly secure the lock nut just with a little bit of tension, and then see how it feels and see if I have taken up the play of what I felt earlier. It feels like all around what I'm doing is I'm turning, wiggling, see if I feel any play, turning a little bit, because those bearings are not exactly perfectly round. That race and that cup are not exactly perfectly round there, and so you may have right there's a little bit of play. So what I'm going to do there is get another adjustable cup or adjustable wrench on the lock nut. Hold that one on the opposite side lock nut. And I'm going to turn that in a little bit. What I've done is tightened the entire assembly of the front hub, cones, lock nuts, and everything. And now it feels like, get that out of the way. So I'm turning, I wiggle, turn, and wiggle. And I'm also checking that it's freely moving on the ball bearings, that I don't have any binding or anything, and that if the wheel is going to spin, it spins freely. I have all that. Checking each spot. Now I've got that set. Now I want to go ahead and secure the cone and the lock nut. Make sure that's on there nice and tight. So I'm going to really kind of pull. Gotta get a little better angle on this. And that's on there nice and tight. The lock nut onto the cone. The bearings are not tight. And I'm checking again every spot around the circle. I can really feel any play at all. I'm gonna bounce this thing, see if I hear any vibrations. Now, I'm ready to put the dust cap on. I always like to put a little bit of oil onto those dust caps because there's always a tiny bit of rub on those dust caps, and it just bothers the heck out of me. I kind of hate these things, but they're there and they're fine. And then I take a rag and I wipe off the excess, and then I have my quick release. Make sure the pointy side of the spring is facing into the hub. Other side, pointy side of the spring is facing into the hub. Screw on my cap. Get this thing ready to roll. I'm not sure if you can see down here, I'm adjusting the quick release onto the fork. Good tension. Secure. And now, I'm going to make sure that this thing doesn't have any noise like I heard before. That is awesome. So now, I'm holding the front brake, wiggle this bike back and forth if I feel any play. Earlier, I don't hear any vibration. Earlier I heard a lot, it's like a lot of vibration. This sounds secure and solid. Now, this bike is ready to sell. Ride lots.